Welcome to another episode of the Family Album, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, AJ Tenari.
And I'm Matt Glass.
Last week, you heard us discuss Scaring the Hose by JPEG Mafia and Danny Brown, as well as Hurry Up We're Dreaming by MA3. An interesting pairing of albums, would you say, Matt?
I would very much say so. I really loved your album choice last week. It was very, very good.
Scaring the Hose is fucking great. One of my favorite albums of the year, as I've said like 8 times on this podcast. But, you know, we're all back on that off-week grind shit. So that you know what that means, Matt?
What does it mean, AJ?
We got a very special guest, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome Hayden Brown.
I wouldn't say very special, but let me tell you, this episode's going to be amazing now that I'm on here.
Hey, Matt, you know what I love?
Steely Dan?
Well, yes, but I also love how easy it is for two goobers like us to make a podcast.
I mean, with Spotify for Podcasters, it's no wonder. Spotify for Podcasters is a one-stop shop that's got everything you need to create the perfect podcast.
That's right. Using Spotify for Podcasters, you can directly record and edit your podcast wherever you are, using their intuitive and easy-to-use website.
And once you're done editing, Spotify for Podcasters takes care of the hard part and distributes your podcast directly to Spotify and everywhere else podcasts are available.
And now you can even make video podcasts available on Spotify, which gives you even more freedom to make the podcast you want, while also giving your lovely listeners a chance to see your face.
Speaking of listeners, Spotify for Podcasters also encourages fan engagement by letting you get feedback directly from your listeners with Q&As and polls made by you.
You can even make money with your podcast through ads, podcast subscriptions, and donations directly from your audience.
Spotify for Podcasters offers all of this, and it's completely free to use with no catch whatsoever.
Guys, Spotify for Podcasters made recording and distributing the Family Album so easy. Being able to schedule our episodes ahead of time and letting them take care of distribution took so much weight off our shoulders.
For anyone that's ever even thought about starting a podcast, we highly recommend giving Spotify for Podcasters a try.
You can download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started.
Once again, download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to www.spotify.com/podcasters.
All right, Hayden, thank you so much for being on the show, man. It's an honor and pleasure to have you, dude.
I'm glad to be here. I'm ready. I'm excited. Let me tell you, I've been waiting for this for the entire time you guys had this podcast going on. Solid 4 months.
Hell yeah,
waiting
dude.
For my invite.
Well, here it is.
It's my lifelong dream to be on this podcast.
Lifelong dream achieved.
There we go.
Shoot higher, my friend.
Since I've been 23.
We got a pretty interesting album selection here.
As you know, guests always pick the theme for this week's album. So, Hayden, what is your theme and what is your albums?
I am so sorry for you both that I chose this. I decided to go a little more on the rap side of things, you know, going towards rap, the beats, and of course, getting the emotion of the words. So I chose the first album, the Infamous by Mobb Deep.
Yes, sir.
And then, oh boy, I'm trying to remember the second one. It was Weapons of Mass Destruction
Yes.
by Xzibit.
Yes, sirree.
Explicit version,
yeah,
nonetheless.
Of course, I have to clarify.
Yeah.
But albums I've never heard before as someone who was into rap, but one of them is apparently like a certified classic, which I was very happy to learn about. Also, I guess before we move on, Hayden, what is your musical kind of background, musical taste? What do you like about music?
Not only do I like rap music, I like all kinds of music. I perform in musical theater. I'm not sure if you guys know that or not. I'm pretty sure you do. I know Matt does. I
don't know if we brought it up, but yeah, we all dabble in musical theater a little bit.
Yeah,
we've dabbled.
Sorry, everybody. That's a bombshell.
New lore drop, guys.
Yeah, new lore drop there. But no, I like all kinds of music, from musical theater to opera to rap to classic rock. So I got a whole bunch
a plethora
from how I've grown up, and you know, there's some stories behind the song, like the 2 albums that I've chose as well. But you know, we can get into that later. But yeah, I got a whole plethora of like music in my in my life.
A whole smorgasbord, if you will.
Danny DeVito, ladies and gentlemen, in the studio in the flesh. But yes, Hayden, what album would you like to start with this week?
Yeah, why don't we just start with the Infamous, you know?
The Infamous by Mobb Deep.
We're going to start off strong. You know?
I fucking agree, man.
I agree too.
All right. So as you know, I'm the historian of the show. So we'll give you a little background on The Infamous by Mobb Deep. It was released April 25th, 1995 on RCA and Loud Records. It is the group's second album and featured big names like Nas, Ghostface Killah, and Q-Tip from Tribe Called Quest, and it's often held among the greats of East Coast rap.
That is, that's pretty much spot on there.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Hey, ever since episode 2, I've tried to do better research.
Well, you did your research for this one. I'm excited to see what you do research for the next one too. But
you serve your purpose, AJ.
Thanks, man. I can die happy.
You've done great. So,
thanks, Dad.
I've always been a fan of. Okay, I won't want to say always. I've gotten into them within the past 6 years or so.
Okay.
We could talk about how I really got into them later, because the track that I got into, like how I really figured out about them, is in the album
we'll go
itself.
track by track.
So we'll go track by track. So I don't know if you guys want to start off with the first track at all. Or...
That's usually
That's
how we
usually
do.
how we do it, so we might as well.
All right, hopping right in. We have the start of your ending, 41st side. This is a great way to open the album.
It is.
Yes, it is.
I love the little chimes that kind of pan back and forth, kind of setting that nice kind of sinister but chill tone that is throughout this entire album.
It's like a dark and menacing kind of feel to it, with like that piano just
exactly.
Great.
Yeah, they are, to say the least, this combination. Unfortunately, combination no longer exists.
Yeah.
But this
Havoc and Prodigy.
Yeah, just having these two guys being able to make these kind of songs and being able to really connect to it. Like, this is the ones I've always connected to. It's a great start to it, to like the perfect album. It's the start and it's going to be your ending. So
exactly.
That's,
I didn't even realize that. Holy shit.
What a pull out my ass there, wasn't it? But yeah, it's, just the sound of it. It just screams like the 90s, man.
It does.
It's like that perfect East Coast, like hip hop, like the Renaissance. It's fucking insane. I love it.
And everybody hates on East Coast rap.
I have heard that, yeah.
Yeah, everybody's a big fan of West Coast rap. Of course, you got Tupac. But, guys like
Wu-Tang Clan, Nas.
The Wu-Tang, Nas, all these people, being able to do some East Side stuff, especially how close we are to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's sure. I don't think they were either of them are from Philadelphia.
I think they're from New York.
Yeah, they're from so not too far from us. But you got rappers from Philadelphia, and even to this day, pulling some East Coast rap. So
this is just becoming an education on rap for me, because this is a genre that I'm not entirely familiar with.
Well, I can't wait for you to talk about the rest of these tracks.
We're happy to expose
I got some notes.
I love the style of like of like East Coast rap, like the more kind of like shuffle like of the intro of like the instrumental, where they kind of like place the emphasis on like the downbeat, which is really cool. They have great flow, they have really great chemistry, they go back and forth very well, and it's just a very chill like vibe throughout, even though it sounds so like dark. It's a really interesting like atmosphere.
The emphasis in the bars about like how he was born into this lifestyle was something I appreciated and took away from this track. I love the way he expresses himself, and like how it's like, I don't really want to be here, but
this is the hand I was dealt.
Here it is.
All right, so you're saying that there's like certain lyrics on this track like specifically resonate with you?
Yeah, so it's I don't want to say it resonates with me, but it resonates to how I feel about certain places and things. How he talks about how they're the sons, the people growing up in like the projects and everything, they're going to become murderers and terrorists and everything, and how they, it's
not their choice. It's like just part of like their lifestyle.
Part of the lifestyle there. And that's kind of was like, okay, well, I mean, I don't have a great understanding. Like, I was never raised in that kind of neighborhood. And I don't want to say I lived a sheltered life, but I've lived in a life where I don't have to worry about
your safety.
Things,
I
don't have to worry about my safety usually. So, just trying to get a better understanding of that too. I was just like, oh, okay, well, let me dig more deeper into this. And turns out, they're now one of my favorite rap groups.
Yeah, man.
Fair enough.
They're very good. It's also kind of cool how like they throughout this album they call out people that kind of glamorize the gangster culture, and they're like really like saying like, no, like you don't want this. This is like the worst lifestyle to live.
Exactly.
They're very self-aware.
Yeah.
I think is one of the best ways to describe it.
Exactly.
Anything else to say about the first track?
I'm all good.
All right, then.
So am I.
Let's move on to the Infamous Prelude. This is more of a spoken word kind of section, basically kind of describing what this album is going to be about without raps. Just kind of, it's Prodigy saying this, right?
I believe so, yes.
I think so, yeah.
I'll correct it in the description if it's not. But yeah, just kind of just giving you a fair warning about what you're about to hear, just kind of saying all the themes of the album basically in a spoken word section.
Yeah, pretty much like get used to this. We're about to talk about a lot about this. I hope you're fucking ready.
Yeah. I was like, when I first started hearing this, I was like, oh shit, he's talking to me. Hey there. What's up, man?
Hi, Prodigy.
Yeah, and there's like, several preludes in
this album.
this album. I'm not sure if there's any preludes in the other. I know there was a prelude in the other album I recommended.
There's a bit, I think there is like one or two in the other one, if I'm not mistaken.
There's one's like a prelude, one's a skit, I think.
Yeah.
So you are going to get a lot of those in these kind of albums.
Yeah.
We haven't had the best luck with skits and
we did the Marshall Mathers LP a couple weeks ago.
Fuck you guys.
So should we just skip this part? I mean,
it's pretty short. It's short.
It's straightforward and short. So I mean,
we'll move on to one of their biggest songs, "Survival of the Fittest." Again, talking about the gangster lifestyle and how you have to like just toughen yourself up in order to survive in such a rough climate, and it's very powerful.
Yeah, it's like a dog eat dog world, and I think he does a really good job of illustrating that. The beat is pretty solid. I mean, I don't want to comment too much upon like the beats and stuff like that. I try to really pay attention to more like the lyrics and the themes, mostly because like I didn't want it to fall in the same like the beat is good, the beat is good, the beat is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I like the theme of this one a lot. I also love the I believe it's like the chorus of "We live in this till the day we die," and then the horns when they back up on the chorus. I feel like it makes it sound like so like triumphant.
It really
almost
adds on to it. I also really like the sound of the piano, just like throughout this entire album, but specifically here, just how just like dark it sounds and just like sinister. Like sinister is the perfect word for this album. Like it's supposed to like portray this like unapproachable atmosphere, which they do very nicely.
This is a real quote, like a real lyric in the song that really sticks out to me. I'm just going to read it to you. Just to give it, I'm not going to have the same effect as him.
Yeah.
Or you can play him if you're allowed to. You're probably not, but it's okay.
We'll figure that out season 2.
Yeah. He says, I believe this is Prodigy saying it too. You find out who your true peoples are when you're upstate bleeding.
Yeah,
Like,
I remember that lyric.
That one just stuck with me when I was
man.
listening to it. I'm just like, yep,
That's tough.
that's the one.
Yeah.
Because it's true. I mean, I don't want to talk about my personal life, but that's like the way I've actually started thinking. Like, who's actually going to be on your side when you're going through like tough shit, and who's actually going to have your back, and who's just going to leave you out for the dogs? Who's going to save their own ass?
Exactly.
And it's surprising how many people will actually save their own ass other than try and actually help you out.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's
it's like cool that you can relate to certain aspects of the lyrics, even like given the context of what it is. Like there's a lot of broad concepts in here that you can relate to, even if you didn't grow up with like the shitty life that they did.
I think that points to the sign of a good album, a good record, honestly. So that's really, really cool. I'm a fan of this one, honestly. It's a very strong, like, because
third track, I would say.
The preludes I get kind of mixed up which is which.
They really like hammer down with some of these. Like this whole album is, just attacking that point.
Yeah.
It's just a very, very solid all around good track. I really like Havoc's flow.
Yeah.
Havoc has some really fucking nice bars in there.
He's aggressive too, which is what I really appreciate.
Prodigy's also very good. I just think like personally I prefer Havoc's like voice and just delivery more.
Well, they're both aggressive in that sense.
Yeah.
They're both trying to tell you, hey, don't go through this lifestyle. It's a way to lead to,
death,
either dead, in prison.
It's a life you never leave. Yeah.
So,
But moving on, we have Eye for a Eye. Your beef is mine. This is a pretty good song. I like the reference to Illmatic in there. The world is ours. That's a nice callback, especially since Nas is on this track.
Yeah, Nas is on this track.
Yeah, that's
and
cool
Raekwon,
callback.
right?
Yeah.
Nas and Raekwon.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going back to that quote I said from Survival of the Fittest, or that lyric from Survival of the Fittest, where, hey, you find out who your real people are, like, we got your back.
Yeah.
Like, your beef is my beef. Like, I will stick with you.
An eye for an eye.
That's,
Yeah.
perfect segue.
You got to be able to kind of like weed out like who's just there and
the
who's
rats.
just like, the rats. I think Nas's flow on this is very, very good.
Nas's feature I fucking love. Raekwon is also very good, but I got biased towards Nas because Illmatic fucking rules. Great album.
I literally wrote exactly what you just said. Nas's flow is really good. Raekwon is also pretty good, but I was more emphasis on like the first feature. Yeah, all my homies love Nas.
True. And all my homies, we respect
We
Raekwon.
do respect Raekwon. Yeah.
I respect both of them. I think they're both really good. But again, Nas, I don't want to say he's on a different level, but
Pretty good.
Yeah.
he's really
He's
good.
iconic.
He's an icon.
It's honestly just a solid track overall.
It is. I like the lyrics, sling krills, get your cap reeled because everything is real. That's good flow and a good like message.
Yeah.
That happens throughout this album.
Yeah, there's a lot of really, really good lines, really good like
themes.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, I think we got to keep this moving along.
That is true.
We got like 16 tracks.
We've got a lot of tracks. Next up, we have another prelude. This is Just Step. This is essentially just like a rap without the music. It's cool. Sets up the next song pretty well.
Yeah, it's mainly Havoc doing it too. And
Yeah.
he's talking about that pressure of being like a gangster, you know? And I put gangster in quotes.
Yeah.
Because
we're not in the 20s anymore.
Well, that, and you know what, we'll get to that song real soon. It's at the end of the album, which is like the main song of this album. So
That's right. Yeah.
let's just keep on going.
I was just gonna add.
Go ahead and add.
I was just gonna add. I think the lack of the beat on this track makes it more intimate.
Yeah, that's
which is
true. It sounds like he's just speaking to you.
Yeah, so I can appreciate that for sure. But we can move on to track number 6.
Give Up the Goods, Just Step. This is probably my favorite song on the album. I fucking love this beat so much.
Bro, Big Noyd fucking slays on this album
dude,
so
he's
much.
So great on this album. All his bars on his verses are great. I love when he spells out his name on this track. It's awesome. The beat is just so fucking smooth, but like so like triumphant. It's really cool.
It's also nice because thematically, it's just about like they're just telling you they don't really give a fuck.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like,
just give up the goods, man, if you want to live.
Yeah,
it's a doggy dog world.
It's kind of like the main motif. I feel like overall,
it's basically like a concept album about like the gangster lifestyle.
Yeah, you guys just pretty much summed it up. I mean, I don't think I can add anything to that. I mean, you're right. It's dog eat dog world and
Amityville, if you will.
Oh my god!
Go there, should I?
Don't bring do not bring Eminem into this.
No, he doesn't need to be here.
He does not.
He had his own
here.
episode.
Yeah, exactly.
That should be enough. Anyway, this song's really fucking good.
It is pretty good. I like this one a lot.
I love it.
I'm glad I can give you guys a perspective into the rap scene, you know, like into these 90s, 2000s rap scenes of this is what you don't want to be a part of this lifestyle. And
people should stop like glamorizing it in their music to make people want to join it. Like they also call, I think in the second song and the first prelude, I think they might call out like just rappers talk about getting high all the time, which is kind of funny. It's basically just like, dude, we're fucking dying out here, and this is what you're talking about. This is what you're using your platform for. It's cool. It's
just kind of an eye roll, but as a track.
Yeah, man. Literally.
So I can respect it. Give Up the Goods, pretty solid.
Yeah,
Let's just step into the 7th track. Sorry, I really tried, AJ.
That's all right.
I'm not as good at the transitions as you are.
But you'll learn one day.
Temperatures Rising.
Yeah, featuring Crystal Johnson. This is really cool. Dude, her chorus fucking rules on this.
Yeah.
Her soulful lyrics and vocals are very nice, very cool delivery.
I got a little upset because they mentioned Western Union. Mostly because I fucking hate Western Union with a burning passion.
What's that?
It's this
thing where it's a lot of scammers use it.
Yeah, and as a guy who worked in retail, basically, for those who don't know, Western Union is a money transferring service.
Gotcha.
That you most of the time have to book by phone, and it sucks ass. And as a person who used to work at a retail establishment that used Western Union, it was by far it made its way onto my shit list.
Gotcha.
I cannot stand doing it.
Good to know.
For a lot of people, it's very convenient, and I understand like the purpose as to why. But my division that like used the Western Union was not good at it. So it was not a good time. So I had to just mention the fact that just Western Union.
Western Union, if you're listening, fuck you.
Yeah, honestly.
Can't even say fuck you to Western Union.
Fuck you.
There we go.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry if that was too aggressive.
Nah, dude, that was perfect.
We like aggression.
They're
here.
not stepping to us anymore.
The vocals do a really good job, though.
We don't want your sponsorship, but if you want to sponsor us,
yeah,
please.
honestly,
that was Western Union, actually, if you're interested.
We'll take back everything we said except me, because this is probably my only time on here.
We hate Western Union, hypothetically, in Minecraft, so, doesn't count.
Jesus Christ.
Hypotheticals.
The vocals are very good on this track, like you mentioned before.
They also have such a nice trade-off. Like, Havoc Prodigy, they go back and forth so well, and I like the story of this album, too. It's about, like, I think it's Havoc's brother who killed someone, is now on the run from the police, and it's formatted like a letter he's writing to him in prison, which is really cool.
Yeah, and again, I'm going to go to the lyrics.
Yeah.
Because
go for it,
at
man.
this point, that's my thing.
I'm resident, not a lyrics guy, so fill me in.
So I got to be really careful because this one does have a slur in it, so I'll just skip over it. The cops is grabbing the wrong You
Yeah.
know what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking for someone to blame, you know?
That is such a good standout lyric.
It's a standout lyric because honestly, is it not true?
Yeah.
That does
especially
happen.
in the
Is it
90s
not
too.
just true at all? Because it pretty much happens all the time. It's just to me, going from where I've lived, again, I don't want to say it's a sheltered life, but you know, people turn a blind eye to that kind of stuff.
They do.
So
Because they're
especially
not
like-
it, yeah.
Especially like the falsely accused. That really sucks.
yeah, and I know people who have been falsely accused of other things. I know people who've had a lot of, I don't want to say, well, issues in a sense. And, you know, it takes away from a person, you know, being
Yeah.
falsely accused and just
Not hearing their story, like their side.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sucks ass, man.
It does.
I mean, I think everybody's been falsely accused at one point or another.
Maybe not some this severe.
Yeah, probably
and
not as severe, but
and some not as severe.
Yeah. Right.
But it definitely is like I like
An
the way he
issue.
illustrates this issue, and
Yeah.
he really just kind of tries to hammer it home like, hey, you don't want to be part of this life. Stop dipping into it, which
Yeah.
is like the whole
Like
theme
theme.
of this entire record. So,
exactly.
temperature's rising.
It is. But let's take a trip up north, guys, with Up North Trip.
What a beautiful segue.
Thank you, man.
Weird fucking intro, I gotta say, to this track.
I really like it. It's kind of cool. Like it's a sample off of a song "I'm Tired of Giving" by the Spinners.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's a really cool like flute-led beat, which I love that a lot. That's very cool. I like the little instruments, little added instrumentals in there. The bass line is also killer in this song, and just about like how you could end up in jail, and that's why you shouldn't be a gangster. Another reason why.
He talks about snitches at some point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know a few snitches.
Name them right now.
Name
I
every
really
snitch.
could.
That's
I
ironic.
really-
It's irony, guys.
It's ironic because you both know one of them. So
Oh, we.
Then we shouldn't say anything. Hayden, what do you like about this song?
what do I like about this song? Let me tell you, it hits close to home because I know a few snitches. Again, it's pretty much telling the story of, you know, that up north trip, aka going to prison.
Because I think it follows like a person who ratted out like people, and like it's following like there's like the repercussions. Like, yeah, it's gonna come back to haunt you, man. I
Yep.
believe that's what. Yeah,
But you know, snitches, you know, they get stitches. You know, that's
as Jesus Christ once said.
yeah. So it's part of life. Like it's gonna be part of that prison life. If you snitch,
Yeah, you're done though.
you're probably gonna get the shit beat out of you.
No, yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, that's just truth.
Yeah, Hayden, you spitting, bro.
I know I don't spit game. I only like.
Spit facts. You spit in
Yeah.
my mouth, Hayden. That's what you do.
But
Please do not like ever say that again.
yeah, please.
You can cut that too if you like.
I like during the chorus that you can hear both Prodigy and Havoc, and they both occupy one channel. That's a cool production technique.
Yeah, it was really, really cool.
Means they share the same space.
Exactly.
Yep.
'Cause-
Just like
yeah.
buddies do.
Yeah.
Anything else to say about track number 8?
Not really. Let's move on to the next one, the Trife Life.
Oh, fuck. He's in a drug deal.
He is.
It's about to go down.
This is another cool sample moment. This samples You Are My Starship by Norman Connors, and I feel like the sample is used very well here for the intro, as a nice spacey kind of synth in there, which I fuck with a lot.
I like how they kind of talk about the fact that there's just like no bullshit in this life. Also like to watch your back and enter the neighborhood without being prepared.
Yeah.
He also mentions something kind of critical, I feel like, in this lifestyle where it's like he's saying no 9 to 5 or degrees or whatever. And it's like I can't
Yeah.
really live a life right now that can pursue these. And it's like you should if you have the opportunity presented to you. I feel like that's such like a real thing that like, you know, well, maybe not a 9 to 5. You shouldn't like pursue a 9 to 5 as like your be all
but
end
in
all
comparison
goal.
to,
But like
yeah.
compared to this,
Yeah.
don't go like bitching and whining about like this.
Yeah.
When
It's gonna be so
like,
much worse.
yeah. Like I literally have to like fear for my life right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I also like how the track starts up again and only to end on like a fade.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he talks about how his mentality is like fuck the world, you know? Like the world put me in this shitty situation. So fuck it. I can only trust the people I can trust and then go from there.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, that's the main message that I got from it. But yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Shall
same.
we?
Yeah. Yeah, we can
Shall
move
we
on.
move on to
QU Hectic, or is it just Q Hectic?
I'm pretty sure it's his Q hectic.
Q hectic.
I just call it Q hectic. You know.
Okay. This is another samples Kitty with the Bent Frame by Quincy Jones.
This track has got some pretty fucking baller lyrics in it. Like, what was it? The one that I pointed out. On the real for real, but wait, it gets realer. Real like an innocent child that turns killer. It's thing like that only makes things iller. And making cream doing sticks.
Yeah, that's
if you
a good
ain't
one.
a drug dealer. Like, holy shit.
Yeah,
like,
man.
wow.
Good bars.
Great
Fucking
bars, great flow, and just like such like a real like
raw.
God damn. Like I had to like pause. I was like, that's
Stuff.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate good lyricism.
I like the auxiliary percussion used in this track a lot too. He has some nice claves in there. And there's a cello in that there too.
It sounds like it, yeah. I was gonna guess like some like a lower string instrument.
Yeah, some nice oomph to the beat, which I fuck with a lot.
Yes. I agree.
Cool.
This one, it's not one of my personal favorites on this track.
I agree.
But because, you know, this album's really good, but this one's personally not one of my favorites. I could talk about it a little bit. I mean, you know, I agree with the lyricism, or if that's what you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the word for it. But, you know, he's talking, again, like shit's about to get real.
Yeah, that is, I guess, one thing about the album is that like the theme, there's not a lot of diversity, but that's the point. Like it's just all about like how shitty the gangster lifestyle is. So I guess like there's some moments where it doesn't like, I guess, hit as hard maybe just because like, I don't want to say fatigue, but just like there's a lot of it.
I think one thing I also appreciated from this track was how he talks about you need to be relentless in this kind of lifestyle.
Yeah, got to toughen up.
Because they're not going to stop for you. Why should you stop for them?
It's either you get popped or you pop someone else.
Yeah, I wrote that in my notes as well.
Yep,
pretty much. That's pretty much the premises of it. And yeah, it's, you know, it's a dirty lifestyle, but I promise I don't live that lifestyle. But you know, this music has really helped me get through some dark times too. So,
and you can probably understand it more too, which is great.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is kind of like a kind of, I'm gonna put it this way. This is kind of like a fuck you to people, you know?
Yeah.
Like when I play these songs and when I'm listening to them, because it's like a fuck you for, I take it in the way of, yo, you're kind of being a snitch, a dickhead, you know, a piece of shit kind of deal.
Yeah, because you're able to like take like these songs that don't necessarily have relation to those themes, but you can like make it, you can take it that way, which is cool.
At the very end of the day, I feel like this record can serve as like a window into what like life is like for unfortunately a lot of people. But the window also kind of has this relatability of the core values of being like a human being and just being there for people that matter.
Bringing awareness to everything, which is great.
It serves a lot of purposes on that front, which again points to the sign of it being a pretty good record.
Yeah, man.
So I think I can appreciate that. And I think it really, that whole idea kind of shines in this track number 10.
It's fair.
But we can keep going. Track number 11, Right Back At Ya.
Yep.
Dude, this is the big feature on the album.
Oh, Ghostface Killer?
Yeah. Just all the people that they brought in.
All
shit.
Every single person.
Oh, fuck. That's epic. Holy shit.
Yeah, this is the big group number. This is what we like to call the end of Act 1 in the theater.
Yeah.
The theater department.
I will say one thing that was pretty funny. I was trying to follow along with the lyrics in real time. And at one point, he says something that was just labeled as incomprehensible. And I don't know why. That's such a long word to describe a fact that like he didn't understand what you know what I mean? So he says some like, I forget what the actual lyric is, but he tries to rhyme something with the word, as he phrased it, tadita.
The tadita. Oh.
That's just something he just said off the cuff to make a rhyme.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
It was just funny.
To fit the flow.
Yeah.
One lyric I really liked that stood out was, I'm gonna make your visit to the bridge a motherfucking short stay.
Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, that's
tough. Yeah.
It's pretty badass, I'm not gonna lie.
They have a lot of tough, this song specifically, compared to their final song, I think their second final song or their final song on this album, hits really, really hard.
Yeah.
And there's some other songs too that I wish were on this album that, you know, we could also talk about here, but this song specifically, you know, like he's pretty much saying it like, oh man, like you're bucking at me, I'm gonna buck right at you.
Yeah.
Like, you better be ready to fight. You better be ready to bring it, because if you don't, I'm gonna kick your ass and most likely kill you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, they're coming in strong.
And he's got all the backup of Ghostface Killah and Raekwon and Nas. So yeah, you're fucked either way.
I forgot about Big Noyd.
And Big Noyd. I forgot Big Noyd is on this
Don't
track.
forget about Big Noyd.
I did write Big Noyd down though.
There you go.
Yeah.
Musicality wise, I gotta say every single one of the rappers' flows on this track
Yep.
are just amazing. Like they all do such a good job. I think they all really paint the picture well, and they play off each other very well.
Yeah.
So I can appreciate that too.
Very good flow and pacing in the song.
Yeah, let's keep on moving.
Yeah. So next up we have the Grave Prelude, another prelude, another spoken word section.
Bro.
Should
this
be
one,
the last prelude if I'm
I
correct.
believe it is. Yeah.
This one was so fucking real. Oh my god.
Yeah. It's almost like a skit where it's like with studio imagery, you have like the rain, like the car door and the gunshots. I think it's Havoc dying after getting shot. Yeah.
I think so.
And like they're calling for like the police and like for help. It's very, very real. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a realist kind of prelude moment. And if anybody doesn't know, Havoc's actually still alive.
Yeah.
It's Prodigy who
passed away.
unfortunately
Yeah.
passed
Yeah.
away. But I don't think he was shot. I think it was like
It was
some
a
sort
disease.
It was a disease
Yeah.
of some sorts. So it wasn't like, that gangster lifestyle, but it's
tough, man.
it's really tough.
Yeah.
It really, really is.
hits.
Like you
And it's
can,
very well done too.
you can just feel like the intensity, I feel like, of like what they're trying to paint in it.
Yeah.
So that's like, because even though it is technically like fiction, it's
Yeah.
not exactly like
Too far off from reality.
baseless fiction.
Yeah.
So storytelling wise, it's at least like, again, this is real.
Yeah.
Stop glamorizing being a gangster. It's a pretty good PSA at the very end of the day, I feel
Yeah.
like.
And if you don't mind, I could probably take in the next transition here.
All right. What do you got,
Really
Hayden?
want to.
Lead us in.
The Grave, and to continue the story from the Grave Prelude, we got the Cradle to the Grave.
That's right.
So it's
It's a nice segue.
thank you.
Yeah.
I try my best to segue myself into it without giving a good segue at all, because I announced it. So, but
At least you're honest.
But again, you know what? I'll let you guys talk about it first, and then I'll come back to it.
Okay.
All right.
I like this track a lot.
I do.
I thought it was like a very, because it's almost like an aftermath, right?
Yeah.
And it's like he was caught, and now like all this other shit, like kind of almost being held up by the police.
Yeah. Basically kind of like explaining like the gang code about like, well, if you're born into this lifestyle, you're never leaving. It's just something you can't get away from, which is, fucked up. It's a very dark song, but it's very well done.
And like the worst thing about it too is like he kind of illustrates the fact that like, yeah, he died, but I have to keep moving.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like that's which is a crazy thing to think about when you really think about it. Lyric that I need to call out. You know him well and probably go way back, but I don't care if he's your man doing shit like that. Hope the word gets back to him, because I screw him. He shitted on my man.
Yeah.
And we got plans to do him. Like, Jesus.
I know, man. It's tough.
It is. And he really does a good job of sort of like portraying this idea, I feel like.
Yeah. As like production wise, I like the more kind of down tempo bass here that really like captures that more somber tone from the Grave Prelude. It's very well done.
Yeah, it's again, to me, what I got from it was like it's a story of how, like, again, you're born into that lifestyle until you die.
Yep.
And you either, you usually at this point will die at a young age when it comes to living in that lifestyle. Or if you're lucky enough to live past it, there's going to be somebody else coming for you at some point. Like, it doesn't matter how old you are, how much you want to get away from it. You can't get away from it till you're in the grave. So, again, I know you pretty much already said that, but...
Hey.
that's the premises. So
Exactly. Thank you for the insight, Hayden.
you're welcome, AJ.
Yeah. Honestly, the track is very, very solid. I think it's a great response to people saying who want to adopt the lifestyle yet again. It's not a game because the players are dying.
Yeah.
That's horrible. Yeah. Let's keep on moving.
Yeah, this is a highlight for me. This next track, Drink Away the Pain Situations. We got Q-Tip from Tribe Called Quest, who fucking kills it on the song. It's very good. Got a more of a jazzy kind of feel. We got those emphasis on the upbeat hi-hats and the saxophone in the background as well.
AJ, they mentioned the brand Carl Kanai.
Do you think there's any relation to Kaniff?
Yeah.
You know, there is not a lot of dick sucking on this album, unlike the Marshall Mathers LP.
No,
And
no.
that's for good reason.
Yeah, I agree.
Y'all are crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen to episode 12 if you want to understand that reference.
Yeah. Ken Kaniff. That was
No, I understand the reference. Oh, you're telling the audience.
He's telling the audience.
Yeah. Oh, you're telling the audience. My
Yeah.
bad.
God.
That's right.
Carl Kanai's like a brand, right?
I don't know.
I believe. I looked it up.
Okay. I believe you then.
We'll just believe you.
Thanks.
okay.
Yeah, I believe it is a brand. Now, this track, is he relating his struggle and his relationship with alcohol to like a real relationship? Because he swaps the lyrics at one point. Or is it like a bad relationship with alcohol
I think it might be-
alongside a bad relationship?
I took it more as like using alcohol to cope with like just the lifestyle. That's what I took it as.
Because he was talking about a girl named Dany. Was her
I don't remember.
Dany?
Yeah,
That was
okay.
Danny.
and then he mentions Henny, but then in the chorus he like switches it
Oh, okay.
from Dany to Henny later on.
Gotcha.
Which is wondering which is making me wonder
If it
what
was a
like
relationship, okay.
yeah.
I mean, I don't really know, man.
It's probably a mix of both, honestly,
Yeah.
to say the least. I mean, we could always ask. We can always Google.
That's
But-
true. We actually have Havoc in the studio right here.
It's true.
He's actually going to say a word for us right now.
I've been on the elevator before.
Wow, thanks, Havoc. That was awesome.
You're welcome.
God. It's a pretty good track.
It is, man. I really like this one a lot. I might just be biased because I like Tribe, but I enjoy. I also really like the theme and the message.
Yeah.
Very real, like this album.
Yeah.
I pretty much have nothing left to talk about it.
All right. then.
I'm ready for this next one.
Yeah,
though.
this
Oh,
is,
this
the
next
big
one. This
kahuna,
is the
right?
big one.
This is the big
Yeah.
kahuna.
This is the most listened to track of Mobb Deep on Spotify.
Yeah, that
correct.
sounds about right. This is Shook Ones Part 2. That piano that comes in here, fucking killer. That's just super fucking dark, man. It's like, oof.
Yeah.
We're in for it, man.
So this is a song that got me into Mobb Deep.
Yeah.
Now,
Understandably.
I don't know if you guys know this, but it's actually in a movie.
Okay.
It's in Eminem's movie 8 Mile.
Really?
It is.
Yes.
Okay.
It is the final rap battle between him and Clarence, the guy who plays Clarence. I forget his name. He plays Falcon in
Oh.
Marvel.
Oh shit. It's Anthony Mackie.
Yeah.
Anthony Mackie.
Yeah.
He plays Clarence, and he is kind of like that fake gangbanger, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Like that's
Gotcha.
That's the special tie-in with this song.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's
a cool callback.
Of
That's
course,
really
it's an
cool.
instrumental beat, and then they make a reference to it. The reference is ain't no such thing as halfway crooks.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know if you guys took the chance to listen to part 1. I know it's not on the album.
I did not.
Nah.
This
I
is the
didn't.
clean version.
I see.
Part 1 is very it's
Oh.
more heavy.
Yeah. because
Okay.
This is like a remix, right?
This is like a remix
yeah,
of it.
that's right.
Again, this is the song that really got me into it, but it's like people are shook, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like they pretend to be like real gangbangers and gangsters until they really like get into that motion of, you know, being behind that pistol and being in sort of like a gunfight or getting in an actual fight.
yeah.
You know, anything that has to do with the streets. Like
Yeah.
they're pussies.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term.
For lack of a better term.
Yeah.
They're
That's a say in the
pussies.
business. Yeah.
Yes. The one of the lyrics that really stood out to me that I thought was like really fucking good was sometimes I wonder, do I deserve to live, or am I some bum or am I gonna burn in hell for the things I did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a great lyric.
Yeah, and you know, he always talks about this is where he brings in the fact of like, you know, we're actual real gangsters. Like you're a minor, we're major.
Yeah.
You know, like that's a nice little reference to, of course, music and a few other things.
Baseball, if you will.
Whatever, you know, same thing.
Yeah, tomato.
You know, you're like the crew is featherweight, you know?
Yeah.
They're weak.
Yeah.
They're not strong. Unlike, you know, Mobb Deep and these other guys like Q-Tip, who was
Yeah.
on the I think on the last track.
Yeah,
he was
Situations.
on Situations, you know, Ghostface Killer, all these guys. You know, it's giving you that idea like you're not ready for this lifestyle. You'll never be ready for this lifestyle. Grow a pair of balls and
Stop pretending.
and stop pretending
Yeah.
to be a what's the word I'm looking for?
A poser.
Yeah, a poser.
Stop being a poser. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. Overall, Very good track.
Very solid track.
Makes
I
sense
see why it's
the single. Yeah.
why it's grown in popularity. Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe that moves us into our final track, number
That's it.
16, Party Over. I also really enjoyed this one quite a lot.
Me too.
I feel like it really wrapped up everything quite well.
Yeah.
I love how he starts like naming all these people.
Yeah, it's like a
hey.
credit sequence.
Yeah. No, I don't know why. That was pretty dope.
It's like everyone on the album and probably like some friends they know like back like in New York, which is really cool.
It's very artfully done in my opinion.
Yeah. I also like the kind of the production here. We have like clocks and chimes in the mix in the beginning, and there's also kind of like it bookends the album because it starts with the chimes from the first track, and they ended with in this track, which is cool. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, just pretty much how it explains. Party's over.
Yeah.
We're done.
We gotta go home.
We're done. But they're not done because they released, I believe, 2 more albums after that.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
true.
So,
What was the next album's called? Like, what is it? Like Hell on Earth?
I don't remember.
Hell on Earth, which is a really good song too. I was really torn between doing that album
And Infamous.
and Infamous, but I decided to just go with
the one we're talking about right now.
the Infamous.
Yeah.
the one
I
we're
may
talking to.
give Hell on Earth a try after this because honestly, I was overall
Yeah, I'm
very
sold on this,
impressed
dude.
with this
Honestly,
record.
you don't even have to listen to the whole album. There's like maybe 2-3 songs you listen to on there. Of course, Hell on Earth is the main one. And then Man Down with Big Noyd. Those are
nice.
two
Okay.
I would.
Glad it keeps coming
recommend.
back. That's cool.
Yeah, Big Noyd has made several appearances on their
Yeah,
albums.
fuck yeah.
Yeah.
He's a homie. Well, anything else to say about Party's Over? Shall we move on to our final thoughts?
No, it just wrapped up everything well, and I think it definitely encapsulates what the theme is trying to be like.
Yeah. All right, Matt, what'd you think of The Infamous by Mobb Deep?
I really enjoyed this album a lot more than I thought I would. Like I mentioned before, rap is not exactly a genre that I like really ever had an understanding of. So getting some old school stuff was really cool.
Yeah.
And I really like how I got more of an insight. The rap that I've been kind of getting into right now has just been like more 2010s to current.
Yeah.
Because I'm a late bloomer in that aspect, but there really is a beauty to it, and I think there's a beauty to this record as a whole. It's great because it has some stylistic choices, and the interludes and preludes are pretty good.
Yeah.
I loved how it sort of falls into a story, and after listening to Marshall Mathers, where that was so like cartoon with like all the shit that's like Eminem is trying to say, this one was more pulled back in its stylistic choices, but it also just really set a heavy message.
Yeah, man.
And a heavy tone. So I really enjoyed it overall. So I got to give this thing like a B plus and probably like a 7
Nice.
out of 10.
Hell yeah, man. Hayden, thoughts?
Well, I chose it, so I mean, like,
You're allowed to be biased, man.
I'm allowed to be biased.
Of course.
This is probably, I think, their best album. They, of course, have another version of Infamous, which is their
deluxe? Yeah.
edition,
Yeah.
which also has part 1 on it.
Cool.
If anybody want to listen to it, I would have chosen that, but we'd be here for another
Yeah.
hour. So that wouldn't be fun. But I think it's still a really great album. Of course, some of the songs on there, it tells, like Matt said, it tells a story. It really like says, hey, you don't want to be a part of this lifestyle, you know? And again, the way I listen to it, I'm like, in a way, I'm just saying, hey, fuck you, you know?
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
That's the way I listen to it. I listen to this kind of music, and it's like a big fuck you to the people who's always treated me wrongly and just pretend to be there for me, and they're not actually there for me. I'm just like, well, what the fuck's your problem, you know?
Yeah. Why are you
So-
still around anyway, if that's the case?
Exactly. So that's why I like listen to this
Yeah.
kind of music. So I'd say I'm going to give it an A,
Nice.
but I'm going to give it an 8.5.
Cool.
I respect the hell out of that.
Hell yeah, man.
It's a great record. Like I
is.
won't knock it.
Guys already said pretty much everything. The way the messages are great. The back and forth that having a Prodigy have is really awesome. They work very well together with their similar flows, but just like unique enough flavors that it keeps them like different and unique. The production is really great on here. There's a lot of really great beats that are smooth yet sinister and really set the tone for like the overall theme and story of the album. So yeah, also all the guest verses are fucking great.
Yes.
Yeah,
all the
Nascos,
features are
Tequila,
amazing.
Big Noyd.
Dude.
They're awesome. Love them. I'm gonna give this an 8.3 out of 10 and a solid B plus. But Hayden, we're not just here for Mobb Deep's The Infamous. We actually have 2 albums this week, and the other one is
Weapons of Mass Destruction, the explicit version,
gotta be clear.
Absolutely.
On that one, yeah.
Yes.
and that is by Xzibit.
Yes, it is. Now, little history lesson on weapons of mass destruction by Xzibit. You can hear my pages turning because we love our studio imagery.
Yeah, just AJ's just archaic.
We make it real.
Exactly. So this was released December 14th, 2004 on Columbia Records. And just a little fun fact, LAX was used in Need for Speed Underground 2. I just thought I should say that. But Xzibit got his start rapping and found success early on with the release of his debut album, At the Speed of Life. And he was also taken in by Dr. Dre after the release of his second album, 40 Days and 40 Nights.
And I think that's when he made like 2 more albums. The one I recommended before.
Yeah.
And then this album as well. So, I mean, let me tell you.
He's been around.
He's been around. This man's been 90s, but his more well-known stuff is in the 2000s.
Like Pimp My Ride.
Yes.
Which he hosted.
Yes.
Also, Matt, I found out where Bitch Please 1 came from.
Yeah.
It was on a Snoop Dogg album.
I see.
Which also featured Nate Dogg and Xzibit. So,
nice.
Guys, we found it out. We found out where the squeakle came from.
Full circle.
Exactly.
Full circle.
Andrew, if you're listening, there you go.
He probably will not be listening.
Anyway, we got to crunch for some time. So
Yes,
we're
we
hopping
do.
right into
Let's
this
go
track.
for it. All right.
State of the
16
Union.
tracks.
Yeah.
State of the Union.
It's pretty good.
It's a nice tone setter. It's kind of cool. It's like a remix, like editing these vocals of George W. Bush saying things to like say like what he actually means about weapons of mass destruction. He's like, we will like harm your children, like all that shit. Like it's edited together very well and has like this nice like creepy ambience in there too to like really set the tone for the album. It's cool.
It's a great fucking intro.
Really great intro.
All right, moving on. We have LAX. This is the single from the album, I believe. Very powerful. Just like I don't mean like impactful, but it's like just a presence in there Xzibit has.
For sure.
Like he's just like very commanding and angry, which is cool.
I actually knew this song previously, surprisingly.
Was it from Need for Speed Underground 2?
No, it was not from Need for Speed Underground 2.
From The Watch by famous actor Richard Ayoade.
No, it was not. No, I'd actually heard this track before. I don't remember where. I want to say it was like a YouTube video or something.
Okay.
But I definitely, it was very familiar. Very strong second track overall.
Yeah, man. I can see why it's the single. It's very like approachable, very kind of danceable. Also, I like the studio imagery. You have the planes flying in the background because it's named after the LA airport, which is cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything else about LAX?
Not too much for me.
I mean, he's, talking about, it's very different from Mobb Deep's music. He's talking about actually like shooting, gang banging, all this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
So
is this also kind of like commentary on like the Iraq War too, a little bit?
Yes, it is, because he's also talking about like, well, he's mentioned the traffic contraband, all that stuff. He's talking about the dropping bombs, making the earth shake. That's like the main point, talking about the
George
the war.
W.
Yes, so he's really hitting home that fact there too. So yeah.
All right, moving on. We have Cold Worlds. It is a very cold world. So Jelly Roll, this is his first appearance on this album. He's kind of hit or miss for me.
I did not like this track.
That's fair.
I think the saw lead in the ears.
Yeah.
It gave me
like
a
mosquito.
migraine. I did not
weird.
enjoy it. I think his flow is pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no track on here where like Xzibit doesn't get the job done.
Yeah, he's got a very nice presence on there.
I feel like the tracks really make it hit. Like in terms of like the tracks, I feel like the beats make it hit or miss for me.
I agree.
And that's how I feel about a lot of this album.
Yeah, some of the beats on here are kind of whack.
Yeah. Cold World, I did not like the synth lead, the saw lead in the ears.
I like the theme though. Just like basically each verse is kind of like a different story about like how shitty life is.
Yeah.
Well, again, he's talking more about this stuff. Like he brings up 9/11 in this track.
Yes, he does.
Someone growing up in Baghdad, right?
Yeah, Baghdad, about this guy's cousin.
Yeah.
Waged jihad and died with honor. So again, it's talking more about this kind of stuff. Really hitting hard. Again, this was released back in 2004.
Yeah.
So this was happening.
Very topical at the time.
This is very, very topical at the time, which is what most rappers do. Like they will talk about what happens at that time, especially at rappers like Xzibit, Mobb Deep.
Sadly, Eminem on the 2017 album Revival.
Oh, God.
That too. Tupac used to do it all the time. Biggie did it all the time. So again, rap has been...
NWA.
NWA. I mean, although it has changed throughout the years, Now we get more rumble rappers, which I hate so much. Like everybody's a fan.
Do I have an album for you, Hayden? Ever hear Kamikaze by Eminem?
Oh my god,
I've heard it.
dude,
Okay,
it
I'll pass.
fucking sucks. It's not good.
How about I pass on that, all right?
Yeah, you got it,
Don't
bud.
mind.
I don't blame you. But yeah, I do agree though. I think the theme is pretty good. It's just the production for me.
Yeah. Also, it's kind of weird. He introduces this concept of like radio, like frequency at the end of a couple songs. It comes up
Yeah.
in like some, but not all, which is interesting, but just something to note. Next up, we have Saturday Night Live. This has a very interesting like 8-bit kind of synths.
It
for the
does.
beat.
I liked it. The vocals, the guy's vocals on this one are kind of silly.
Jelly Roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it doesn't fit.
Not the best. I couldn't take it entirely seriously. I mean,
Yeah.
again, Xzibit does a good job of like,
Being like the star.
yeah.
Mhm.
But I gotta say, like, I was not a really big fan of this track either.
Yeah, I agree. I like during the interlude, you have like the lady singers come in, which is interesting. But it also at the same time highlights the flaws of the beat because it doesn't sound like they mesh very well together.
No.
I mean, for me, it's certain lyrics like, all right, I hope you're ready for this one. Your hood's gonna ride, then let me see you throw it up. If you ready, I'm ready. See, really, we don't give a fuck, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's bringing in that message like, again, hey, if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's just fucking do this.
Yeah.
You know? And that's just the wonderfulness. I know
Xzibit.
you're just laughing at my like
Your hand
different
motions.
hand motions, facial expressions. Look, I'm Italian, all right?
Hey man, I relate.
Look, I'm also Irish, but I'm Italian and Irish. So hand motions
Guys,
are
if you can only see what's going on in the studio.
hand motions are in my life.
He almost poked my eye out.
That's actually a part of this. Actually, no, it's not.
It actually says Hayden will poke Matt's eye out in the year 2023.
Yeah, that's why I didn't like this track.
Oh no, sorry. He says, "Poke some motherfucking hose."
Shit.
Show me.
Well, anything else about Saturday Night Live? Shall I move on?
I say let's keep going,
'Cause-
motherfucker.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
This song fucking
This is
rules.
this is the best song on the album.
Honestly,
in my opinion.
I think I agree. The song fucks so hard. I love like the vocal interlude that leads into each verse. It's so fucking catchy.
the piano too.
Yeah, man.
The piano is very
Yeah.
nice.
I remember back when we used to carpool, Matt and I, and this song I'd have it blaring in the car.
I do remember this. Yes, I did know this song in advance as well.
So this one, it's just like
soft spot.
Well, soft spot. Not only that, but this is another one of those songs I would listen to, even though it's the lyrics kind of don't match. This is like another song
Yeah.
that I would listen to and be like, "Hey, fuck you," you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like motherfucker.
It's just a good song to make you feel like a badass.
Yeah.
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 Exactly.
Also, Matt, is there a shamisen in the background of the song? There's
It sounds like
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I was gonna
Some
say.
kind of like really tinny string
Yeah.
instrument. Not tinny, but like shallow
Yeah.
string instrument with not a lot of resonance.
I was like, oh shit, another shamisen shout out. Thank you, Halsey. Thank you, Xzibit.
I love me a good shamisen. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
love me the Venn diagram of Xzibit and Halsey both having a shamisen.
What a fucking contrast of artists that you just presented right there.
I know.
But yeah, it's a pretty solid track. It's not my favorite personally, but I will say though, like it does get the blood pumping a bit when you
Yeah,
listen
dude.
to it.
It's a very
three?
good party song.
I'd say top 5 actually. I'd say top
Okay,
5.
that's fine.
Serviceable, I guess. But now we move on to the next track, Beware of Us. This one's kind of weird.
It reminds me of like the Black Eyed Peas, like the beat.
Yep.
It kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah, it's really like weird, like syncopation with the blue, 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 blue.
Just like that. In fact,
Yeah, dude. Also, Xzibit's chorus is kind of weak. Like he doesn't have the strongest singing voice.
yeah.
The lyrics don't really match up in this song, especially what they're trying to talk about here.
Yeah.
They mention. Actually, I don't even know if I even want to talk about the lyrics. You know, I'm not even gonna. No,
might
thank
be-
you.
Maybe that's a
Too
good
far
idea.
hidden.
Honestly, for the sake of time and also to get to the tracks that we really want to talk about,
Yeah, move on.
might be a good idea.
All right, we have Judgment Day next up. This is also a very good track.
This beat is fire.
I know,
The
man.
piano's amazing. It fucks a lot. The sample in the song, I don't know where it's taken from, but it's so bright and colorful.
Yeah,
and
man.
like, it is a lighter tone
It's got like a gospel
thematically.
kind of theme, which is really cool.
He is also, like, the theme he's rapping about is a lighter tone,
Yeah.
just a little bit. But it works well. Sometimes the lyrics don't really match that well, but like
Yeah.
overall though,
Pretty solid.
yeah, and it's the vocalist is also very fucking good.
Yeah. The vocalist fucking kills it. One lyric that I thought was kind of funny was the worst thing you ever seen in your life, the Passion of the Christ.
Yeah,
That was funny.
Man, fuck Mel Gibson.
Yeah, Mel Gibson can suck a mouthful of flesh, you know?
My penis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just gotta clarify.
that was probably one of the best lyrics I've seen.
It was good.
It was
good
really.
roast.
It took me off guard when I listened to it. I'm just like, oh, all right, cool.
Shit, the Passion of the Christ. You don't get a lot of people mentioning that these days.
Especially in the rap scene.
Yeah. Unless they're like a Christian rapper, which
We unfortunately know.
never going ever to that side of
No.
No, you never want to go there.
I'm good.
I know a few if you need some.
I actually,
So do we.
Yeah. Not a lot more to say about it, honestly.
Just a good track.
It's a really good track. I love how it plays with the whole idea of like, you know,
Like religion, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
Set to more of gangster stereotypes. It's cool.
yeah.
So next up we got Criminal Set. This is very cool, reminiscent of classic G-Funk and like old school hip hop.
I'm gonna need to call out another lyric.
All right.
Heard the OGs, they don't hit, and I'm the only one left from the West that you can't fuck with. But lately I've been feeling like Will Smith. Why bother with rap when he could get 20 mil on a
Yeah.
flick? It's like, that was a nice little call out
line.
right there.
Yeah, man.
Like a nice little like, hey, fuck you.
Fuck Will Smith.
Yeah.
Also reminds me of an Eminem lyric from
It
the song
does
Without
remind me. Yeah.
It real some shady.
Yep. I know exactly what lyric you're talking about. I'm going to bring up another lyric real quick as well. And it's at the very beginning, too. If you cared about the violence because it didn't affect them, that's actually the lyric. that was it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Fair
I
enough.
could go on, but I'm not going to go on.
All right.
But it hits, you know?
It does.
Yeah,
Like-
it's just about crime and dealing with the culture.
Exactly. It's like how I said earlier, you know, being from where I'm from, you know, not a lot of people care about that kind of stuff. So
just turn a blind eye.
yeah, they turn a blind eye, or it just doesn't happen. I mean, sure, it happens. I mean, we care about it. It scares us.
Yeah.
And anything. Sorry, I'm gonna go off a tangent here.
No worries.
I was always told that anything can happen anywhere, and you gotta be very careful no matter what. And that's living on the cautious side of life.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not only like it says because it doesn't affect them, but once it does affect them,
Then it's an issue.
Then it's an
yeah,
issue.
Yeah, of
exactly.
course.
yeah. But yeah, that's it.
Thank you. That was very insightful, Hayden, actually.
Very, very
Yeah, man.
insightful.
What was my other stuff not insightful?
Oh, well, I mean, I'm glad someone said it.
Oh, okay.
I'm kidding.
let's just get this over with.
That pan flute solo.
Me and Muggin is the next song. Hey now, me and Muggin is what I mean. This is one of the singles I believe as well. I'm not actually that big a fan of it.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I like the weird percussive choice in the right channel
Yeah,
and stuff
the
like that.
shuffly kind of claps. It's interesting.
I will give this album something. It definitely has a lot of fun ideas.
Yeah.
But just not always execute the best in terms of like the musicality and the production. So I mean like, and you know, sometimes you got the you got stuff with the orchestral stings and
Yeah,
the
man.
guitar.
The feature's really good. Carrie Hilson, her backup vocals,
Yeah,
and her
that's true.
choruses
She's
are
really
nice.
good.
I mean, I did select another album, but we couldn't use it.
No.
So
You gotta.
it's fine. I mean, this one's still good as well.
Hey,
It's got
hey,
several
man.
good songs on here.
If you like this album, that's perfectly fine.
Exactly.
I'm not saying I hate this album.
No, and you should wait for my conclusion.
Fine. All right. I'll wait for your conclusion.
But yeah, it's basically like a club song about getting dirty looks at the club and then just having to, defend your honor,
Yeah.
which is fun, I guess. But I'm just not a huge fan of the overall project.
Number 10, Ride or Die.
Yes.
I have a question for both of you. Do you either of you say that you have a rubber band stick thick in your pants or
Every day, in fact, actually.
I see. Just want to make sure.
Yeah. Hayden, you can relate,
No,
right?
I've never said that.
Hayden, your high school yearbook quote was that. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
My high school yearbook quote was an inside joke about me breaking a vending machine.
That's so fucking funny.
For a little bit of context, Hayden and AJ went to high school
We did
together.
go to high school together.
We went to high school together, and I'm surprised you didn't read my senior quote.
I didn't get your.
Because that's
I
right.
didn't get a yearbook till I was a senior.
I decided to make my quote just something funny, so I used Mike Jones. I know you know Mike Jones.
Oh, Mike, what up, Mike Jones? If you listen to this,
I decided to use his quote about a vending machine because I broke a vending machine.
Yeah, that's
and
one
then
of the most
machines in
iconic stories.
And then our vending machines in school got replaced.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
So they wouldn't
Okay.
be as breakable.
Ride or Die. This track has an ambient vibe, which I think is a good choice after the previous tracks. It was so like upbeat. I'm a fan of this one too.
It's interesting too how it kind of starts with like the police radio feed as like a lead-in, kind of going off of like the radio frequency we've been seeing in like a couple tracks, which is cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all right.
Not a lot to say about it. It's just solid.
Yeah. HIV 223. That's one of the lyrics that stood out to me.
Well, I got more lyrics for you.
Let's go, Hayden. What do you got?
It's too late when the body bag zips up. Real gangsters pray for their soul when they get up. You'll live by the gun, but you'll die by that hit up. So, I mean, that stood out to me.
Yeah.
It just hits hard.
It
hits hard.
More just about like the gangster lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That gangster lifestyle. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a gangster. I promise. I'm not a gangster.
I did not think that, so it's
But-
okay.
Again, it's those kind of lyrics that like hit close
Yeah.
because they just feel
They feel real.
they feel real. You
Yeah.
can actually feel it. Like that's the thing I
And
like
it's, like,
about
good
music.
imagery, too.
You can exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you can feel it.
Yeah.
Like you could feel it. That's what you're supposed to feel it.
No, I feel it. I
Are
promise.
you feeling it now, Mr. Glass?
Yes,
I'm feeling like a crazy hoe right now.
God damn it! I was gonna be like, yeah, you crazy hoe.
Great minds think alike, man.
I hated this track a lot. This is probably my least favorite of the entire thing.
This
I
one's-
hate literally everything about this song. It just feels offensive through and through.
You don't like Sugar Free
And
role playing as a pimp?
Also mentioning R. Kelly in
stronger-
any
That is also fair.
in any format, in my opinion, is just kind of like, okay,
Dead in
that's
the water.
fine.
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
will say I did laugh a little bit because at one point in the channels I heard some guys go like, ew. It was so funny. But he just really fucking hates this woman he's talking about. Like, Jesus,
everyone hates this woman.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I really relate to this song. I'm just kidding. I don't hate people, but you know, there's just there's certain things that like irk me.
Yeah,
and
that's
there's certain
fair.
things that people do that irk me. So like
Like being named Sugar Free, for instance.
well, that R. Kelly thing, you know,
Yeah.
That's a pretty big
that
one.
really just
That
that
irked a lot of people, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he did talk about 9/11 and some other
Yeah.
stuff in some previous tracks, but that R. Kelly one, you know, being in the
Yeah, but
same,
that was topical at the time and like needed to be said. This didn't.
I mean,
I guess R. Kelly was topical in the early 2000s.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but it's like, why even give him the clout of mention? You know,
I
like,
guess it is more of this. This is something that just didn't age well.
no,
Yeah.
you know,
Crazy Hoe.
crazy hoe.
Not great.
featuring Strong Arm Steady.
And Sugar Free.
Strong Arms does have some pretty good features on this album, though, I will say. Big Barkin'.
It's just a skit about this dude who's angry at Xzibit and he's leaving him an angry voicemail, which is also funny relating to the title. That he's not seeing him in person. He's leaving a voicemail.
Listen, he puts motherfuckers in the grave.
He does. And don't you ever forget.
I ain't about to be that guy he's talking about.
Yeah, exactly. This is like a 52-second track.
It
Yeah,
is.
so
It's a skit.
It's so quick and easy. Boom.
But
All
it
right.
segues very nicely into Tough Guy.
I thought, so when this started playing, I thought it was the intro to Paint It Black by the Rolling Stones. And then all of a sudden I hear is Oompa Loompa.
Yes, right.
And I was like, fuck, Augustus Gloop is about to get a drive-by in the chocolate tube. I can't, listen, there are some good lines. It was really hard for me to take it
I
seriously,
know the
though.
beat is not
just
very
a little
good.
bit.
Yeah.
I really like at the last chorus, they really like spice up that, you know, they go, thought you was a tough guy, and then bow, you know. That's going to be really bad on
That's
the recording.
fine.
It's okay.
You know.
We've already peaked by this point.
It's okay. We'll fix it in post.
Yeah, but
By
I
we, I
mean,
mean AJ.
I will try to fix it in post.
I personally liked this song a
Okay.
lot. You know, that's just me. I liked it a lot.
I mean, it's not terrible. I like it thematically, how it follows up Big Barkin'. The line "Spill your spaghetti" is always appreciated in any song.
Knees weak, arms are heavy.
AJ, are you going to spill some spaghetti in some
Bro,
new
I'm
songs?
fucking known for spilling my spaghetti, dude. You should know this.
Will you spill some spaghetti in some unnamed people that I will not name on this radio show or on this podcast?
Bro, I'll slather them in the sauce, bro. Don't even trip.
Wait, you're getting in the real gangster lifestyle now. Let me tell you.
AJ, it's not worth it. Don't do it.
I listen
Don't
to the
do it.
Infamous.
You listen to
Back
Mobb
to-
Deep.
go back to Mobb
I
Deep.
didn't learn anything.
I mean, honestly, I couldn't think of anything else besides Willy Wonka, which is unfortunate.
Beat is silly. I do like the Busta Rhymes is on this song though.
Yes,
he has a good feature.
Busta Rhymes is pretty good. I have listened
the
to
lyric "Turn your stomach to a pot pie." That kind of hit. That was good.
Busta Rhymes known for being that really fast kind of rapper. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's did very well in that track. And then he also leaves that voicemail at the end of
this track.
Of this track. I'm not sure if you heard that, but
I didn't know that was Busta. And I assume that was him on Big Barkin too, right?
I believe so,
Yeah.
yes. So
That makes sense.
You know, both of those. So.
Yeah. Which is funny too. It's kind of it's like a nice bookend where he's like, "A guy didn't mean anything I said, man. Just like, we're good. Like I swear."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But moving on, we have "Scent of a Woman." I think it's actually a really nice song.
It kind of fucks, honestly. It's such a contrast from Crazy Ho. I mean, like the guy's vocals starting off every single chorus. Who is the vocalist for this?
I honestly have no clue.
Guys,
Because
I'll put it in the description.
he's really good.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Also, the beat is fucking magical with the guitar and bass and the
bass is really
sequencer.
good.
And I think like the hip hop elements just like really shine.
And it's kind of like more like an R&B song.
Yeah,
Which is cool.
Yeah, it is more R&B
And it just
actually. You're
shows
right.
the appreciation Xzibit has for his woman. It's very sweet.
The guy's voice is just really good.
Yeah, man.
And then honestly,
Yeah.
I gotta say, Xzibit, I liked his lyrics in this one
Yeah,
too.
they're good.
So I will give this one track number 14. It's quite good.
It's very nice.
Definitely better than Crazy Ho.
Yeah. The bar's low,
And
but
bringing up
yeah.
R. Kelly.
Yeah. Listen, any song that doesn't bring up R. Kelly is already on a really good high
you're
standard.
starting
with
at
me.
least a C tier.
Exactly.
You can only go up
That's
or down
true.
from there.
I have to look for that in every track I listen to.
Exactly. But anyway, we're going to clack on this next track. Klack.
I like how it utilizes the automatopoeia.
Yeah, the clack, 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 clack. It's really hype songs. Don't laugh at me, man.
I'm
trying.
sorry, but all I can think of is just like, I don't know why Mr. Krabs was like the only thing I could think. Oh man, Mr. Krabs, the complete opposite of a gangster.
He still goes on about these world topics back in 2004. He brings up Bin Laden in this.
Yeah.
He does.
You know, actually that's the main one I found. I don't see
It
any.
still happened nonetheless.
However, I still don't see any R. Kelly in this one either. So I
it
mean,
passes the test.
I see
very
P
much
Diddy.
does.
So I mean, I guess that kind of counts.
As what?
P Diddy.
P. Diddy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back
Yeah.
in 2004, he was,
Around.
Yes,
he was around, but he was. That's a whole nother story.
Yeah, guys,
won't
we're
get
not talking
into
about P. Diddy. We're talking about Weapons of Mass Destruction by Xzibit. The track 15 Klack. I like the trumpets that come in after the third verse. I think it's very nice. The production overall is very cool. Xzibit's got some nice flow. It complements the beat very well. And there's an emphasis on the downbeats of every measure, which is awesome. And it's got a very sick bass line. And the Klack hook is just a very fun gimmick for the song.
Again, not my favorite, but I can respect it. Automatopoeia is something that people should use more.
Exactly. As Eminem taught us anything. Guys, the
Great.
last track we're here. This is back to the way it was. And I think it's a solid way to close the album.
Lyric check. Got to censor myself though,
Okay.
because real don't save face. They make movements back to the time when hip hop was music.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Also, the lyric that I thought was kind of funny was, success can suck sometime. As we so well know, right?
At the
Matt?
family album,
Yes.
yeah. We're just like
Too big for our
rolling in it.
britches right now.
Rolling in it right now, of course.
Hayden, what do you think of Back to the Way It Was?
Well, I also want to bring up some lyrics.
Yeah.
But I could have been a lawyer. I should have been a doctor. I've never been an actor. I'm nothing but a monster.
I also had
That's a
written that
good
one
so
down
that
next.
Lyric. That's good.
That cuts.
hits.
Yeah.
It cuts.
That
It really
cuts
does.
deep. And especially for a guy like me who, I'm not going to be a lawyer. I'm not going to be doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not a monster. At least I hope I'm not. I may be a monster on the stage if I'm playing a monster.
That's
but,
true.
Matt played a monster once. He
I
knows
did.
about it.
I
He
did
did.
play a monster.
Play the creature from the Black Lagoon, actually.
Yes,
It was
indeed.
very wet.
Okay.
Throughout the whole production.
Very moist.
Very moist. Very
One
damp.
might say.
Dank, if
Leaving
you will.
fucking footprints everywhere this dude went.
Anyway, so this track,
It's solid.
it is solid. I think it's a decent closer.
It's got a really good instrumental, too.
Yeah.
I enjoy. I'm actually curious, Hayden, have you listened to any of Xzibit's 90s output? How different does it sound musically wise?
So it's somewhat different.
Yeah.
So mainly his 2000 stuff involves more
like electronic stuff.
Electronic
And
stuff.
I'd say even like a rock influence rather than jazz.
Yeah.
Like his features on his 90s albums are way different.
Yeah.
Like he has King T on there, J-Ro, Catastrophe. I'm not sure if you know.
No.
Razcast Saphir. Like he has different artists. While like for his 2002 album, he has like Dr. Dre, Nate Dogg.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Golden State Project, Snoop, MOP. You know, he's got more of these these more well-known 2000s and people who have been more well-known throughout the rap to this day at least. So I mean, it's very different with people who he's worked with. A little bit
Like
of a
sound,
style-wise, a bit of a sound too. But I mean, altogether, he's he's probably
He's one of the OGs.
yeah, he's one of the technically he's one of the OGs.
Yeah, because he was on Bitch Please, so it counts.
Yeah, it
Fair
counts.
enough. Fair enough.
All right, guys, what are our final thoughts on Weapons of Mass Destruction by Xzibit?
I'll go first. I think for what it's worth, this album did have some pretty good tracks on it. Given the fact that it's not exactly my favorite era or genre of music, I think it has some bangers. And the flow on a lot of these tracks are really, really good. Just weird, like, beat choices.
I agree.
There are moments where I want to get angry with him. And I think if that's called pathos, if I ever heard anything like that myself. The production on every single one of the tracks is good, and I do appreciate it, though, even in the weird ones. A lot of the tracks I was getting kind of bored, but then there would be some that stand out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the ones that stand out hit very fucking hard. So, again, I'm going to have to give this a B+, and probably around the same ranking as The Infamous.
Interesting.
Maybe 7.5, actually.
Okay, cool.
So
wanna go?
yeah, I'll go. So this wasn't my first choice,
Yeah.
obviously, for obvious reasons. However, there are some really good songs on here.
Yeah.
I do agree. It's not my favorite album by Xzibit.
Yeah.
You know, my favorite is 2002 Man vs. Machine, but we couldn't do that one, which is fine. But Weapons of Mass Destruction, I would give it probably a 7.3, and I'd also give it probably a solid B to B+ rating. So
Okay, cool. Like much like Matt said, there's a lot of strange like beat choices and a little bit of production choices that I feel like make some of the songs that just drags him down like a level for me. His flow and his energy are really good here. Xzibit is a very good frontman, and he's sorry, it's raining very hard right now, so I got distracted. But it's a fine album in my opinion. I feel like the features are very good for the most part, bar Crazy Ho, but that just has more contextual issues than anything. So I'm gonna give this like a 6.9 out of 10, like a B- or a C+.
That's fair.
It's just solid.
it's fucking torrential downpours out there.
Yeah,
bro.
really.
There's actually a tornado coming towards the studio right now, so we should probably wrap this up.
Just a deluge of some kind. I did get a tornado warning, so
Oh fuck.
yeah, that might be wise. Well,
Yes.
Hayden, I gotta say, thank you so much for being on our podcast.
Yeah, man.
I truly appreciate the invite, guys. Of
course,
Yeah.
dude. Give us some
thank you
cool
for having me.
insight.
I know for a fact you guys will never have me back on here again, so it has been a pleasure. Especially after this whole thing,
Debacle.
this whole debacle.
Well, hey, man.
Well, here's the thing. When it comes to the family album, we try to expand
Exactly.
our music tastes and also just get out of our comfort zones in terms of songs and albums and records that we
Yeah.
probably wouldn't be listening to.
Yeah, man. Like I would never listen to an Xzibit album myself.
Same.
I definitely got you guys out of your comfort zone, to say
dude.
the least.
Well, thank you for all the insight, Hayden. And
Well, thank you guys again for having me on. It's been a lot of fun.
It has been
dude.
fun.
hey, Matt. Any final thoughts?
Thank you guys for listening. We really appreciate it.
As always, I'm your host, Eddie Tenari.
And I'm Matt Glass.
And I was special guest Hayden Brown.
We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for listening.
Peace.
Goodbye.